Thank you for coming along with me on this Black history journey. I am honored to showcase 5 mini poetic documentaries titled Beneath the Waves, Tragic Transitions, Cotton Currency, Plantation Profits, and Blood Bricks. These mini videos cover the Middle Passage, plantations, construction, and so much more. I hope this will not only pique your interest to learn about our past, but also touch your heart and soul as we explore the deep impact our ancestors had on this country. Thank you so much for listening. Our history in America began bloody. Trapped on ships, chained and stripped real ugly. There was no first-class seat availability or choices. Silenced by fear and stripped of our voices. See, America is not the Disneyland it pretends to be. So many of my people died from those rides, drowned in those tides, soaked in water graves. If the souls could speak beneath the waves. If souls could speak beneath the waves, the ones that made it were turned into slaves, stripped of everything that identified their very being, tortured to succumb, raped and hung, beaten and tragically mistreated, broken down but not defeated. They carried crowns that didn't drown at sea. There was so much inside they had to hide if they were ever going to be free. Hundreds of years my people have suffered. Slavery was the American dream that murder uncovered. Slave masters filled with hate. We were labeled subhuman, sold, and separated. It was by the grace of God any of them at all even made it. It was by the grace of God any of them at all even made it. Slave children, separated from their parents, transported hundreds of miles to the south, bid on and sold for America to make millions. Cotton. The ones that planted and picked it should never be forgotten, forced to work under horrendous conditions and conditioned to produce. Physical abuse and torture was used to speed up the process. It's way too many to count all of the losses. Bloodied hands and burdened backs. Faster and faster the whips were cracked. We can never grow forward without looking back. Cotton was America's most exported commodity. The slave trade, one of America's biggest robbery. The slave trade, one of America's biggest robbery. In 1619, African men and women started arriving in Virginia. The South's cultivation of crops would be dependent on slave labor. Plantations. Lord, there's so much shame on this nation. The indescribable labor of plantation slavery. In the midst of this madness, my people carried courage and bravery. Agricultural slavery would prove to be big business. Cotton, tobacco, and sugar cane by force, my people were made to tend this. Days of endless planting and picking with no return on investment. While slave owners profited, we became an arrested development. While slave owners profited, we became an arrested development. From the plantations to the White House and Capitol, slave hands built what some would consider unimaginable. My people built plantations but were forced to live in shacks, made bricks by the sweat of their brows and the strength of their backs. Slave labor was a part of every bit of the White House construction. Harvard, Georgetown, the University of Virginia, and Yale all took part in slave labor, while my people were prohibited to excel. Slaves worked in a domestic capacity for Harvard presidents for 150 years, but they tried to bury their legacy like they were never here. We need more than memorials and apologies from these prestigious institutions. We need the money our ancestors were robbed of, and that is the most immediate and American resolution.